for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Area to try and locate them. Students who narrowly escaped the raid have been speaking about their ordeal. Tuli Shabalala has that story.
Usamo Aminu had gone to bed when he heard sporadic gunshots in the school premises. Gunmen were executing a raid in the all-boys school.
They say the gunmen were already in the school. We even climbed the school fence, but they even asked us to return back. We thought they were soldiers who were trying to protect us, but unfortunately, they were not soldiers.
Aminu says he escaped after a knife was brandished, allegedly with the intent of killing him.
I ran into the crowd. They couldn't get me. Then I put my clothes upside down so that they could not see me. From there, they said they would kill whoever is trying to escape. Then I began to run, climbing one rock to another through a forest.
Hundreds of boys are still missing, and security forces are combing a forest area outside of the town of Kankara to try and find them. Their parents have been anxiously waiting for some positive news.
Our last prayer is to see that our children are back. That is the only prayer. That prayer that we are doing. We are sleepless. Even this night, wallahi, we stood up. We stood up praying to God to bring our children back.
There is growing anger with the precarious security situation in Nigeria. Armed bandits often carry out attacks throughout the northwestern part of the country, often stealing or kidnapping civilians and holding them for ransom. So far, the gunmen have not made any demands. Tuli Shabalala, CGTN.
Philly Haza has been following these developments from Nigeria's administrative capital, Abuja. Phil, thank you for joining us here on Africa Live. We appreciate you keeping a close eye on this story. Phil, what's the latest on the abductions in Katsina?
Well, thank you, Richard. So at the moment, we know that the military is saying that they have cordoned off the area where they believe these abductors have the children kept. They are also saying that they're going to ensure that every one of them are brought back safely. We also know that parents of these children have been protesting in Katsina State. They're demanding for the immediate release, a safe release this time of these children. And the reason is clearly because this is not the first time that the nation will be awoken to this kind of news. It happened in 2014 involving over 200 schoolgirls, and up till now some of them are still missing. So that's the reason for the fears and concerns by these parents. They're grieving and also insisting that they're updated periodically on the progress of the whereabouts of their children.
Well, Phil, I guess the question that needs to be asked is about clarity. Clarity on the underlying motives behind these latest mass kidnappings in Nigeria?
Well, in terms of clarity, it's been over 48 hours since these children were declared missing, and it is safe to say that the motives behind this attack will definitely be towards kidnapping them for ransom. Because if you look at the history of Katsina State, especially in the course of the year, Amnesty International says kidnappers have killed more than 1,000 people, all in demand for ransom. So those that couldn't pay, and even some that could pay, the kidnappers still went ahead to kill them. So you're looking at the state or a region, the northwestern region, that has been, facing huge insecurity challenges, especially towards banditry and kidnapping in the course of the year, even a couple of years back. So it's safe to say actually that this particular attack is also with regards to kidnapping, and even if the government have said they will not negotiate with terrorists, they will not negotiate with the kidnappers, and that's the reason for the military assault on that area.
Well, we are now supplying you with this information, where we have audiobooks, and we have lectures, documentaries, and music. So all you have to do is go to rassinternet.today. That's rassinternet.today. You will be pleasantly surprised of what you will hear out.
This is the Culture January FM. We're there with you next Wednesday. And I must say I am okay. I hope you are okay where you are, you know. Well, people can't say that. But, you know, we give thanks. We give thanks. You know, we all go through the PSs from now till 2 o'clock. Yeah, we see some terrible things. Well, not terrible things. There was one terrible thing we have to mention still. In Africa there, Mozambique, there is some serious massacre going on. I think El Shabaab, they like, you know, them come like Boko Haram, the one them like when in Nigeria, well, them depend on the east side. Terrible things, them a try make a little part in a Mozambique become, what them call it, Islamic. And that is how them go about it. That's why we have to really put some whole heap of fire upon religion, you know, because this is what religion calls people to do. You know, exactly what them do in the Bible. Yes, these massacres them go in our village and demand that the people them stop deal with what them are deal with and deal with what them want them deal with, and burn out the place, burn down the place, and take the young girls them and rape them. If you're reading at the Bible, you see the exact thing play out. But according to the Bible, it says God said that they must go into the city and kill every man, not even the dog must be spared, and take the woman for themselves. And these are the little things where them play out in a religion. Yes, primitive minds. And this is what is taking place in Mozambique. We want to tell you about the Tanzanian Prime Minister who passed away today. The Tanzanian Prime Minister died today. They are saying that, I don't know if it's true, but the sound go around say probably it's COVID. That is what they must say. But we know after the fact that he died today. We want to also talk about Ghana. Ghana was having a relentless battle with England, British Airways, in terms of deciding that they want to move the British airline coming from Accra, which is the capital of Ghana, into Heathrow. Now everybody know that Heathrow is one of the, trust me, when you're there Heathrow, it come like in a city. Believe you me, it's one place where if you play late, you don't feel no way if you sit down in there. I tell you, man, if you play late, to go anywhere. It don't feel no way when you sit down in there, because there's so much things to see. Anyway, Heathrow, for those of you who travel and know, say Heathrow, they're nearer to London, central London, than Gatwick. Well, they have been having this to and argument about the British Airways want to land the people them coming in from Accra into Gatwick. Well, the Prime Minister decides, say, all right, if Uno going to make the people them coming from Accra land into Gatwick, well, when the people them coming from London, them going to have to go land in a Kumasi. Now, for those of us who know Kumasi as opposed to Accra, it's enough miles. Enough miles. May I tell you, it's enough miles. Miles longer than you to. It's about 100 miles, really. It's about 100 miles from Accra to Kumasi. So him say, all right, well, since we can't land at Heathrow, we can't land at Accra, because, you know, Accra is a capital. Nobody wants to land at Kumasi to come to Accra, which is dozens of miles away. Just like how nobody wants to land in Gatwick. When them going into London, they want to go into Heathrow. And we know how Heathrow stay and how Gatwick stay. And especially in the morning when you travel, if you go to the airport from London, if you go to Gatwick, is really a problem. Well, them come to a decision, and the Ghanaian have them way. Them say, all right, well, you can land, you just keep it how it is. Accra to Heathrow, yes, landing in Heathrow. Heathrow to Accra, landing in Accra. And that's the final story. I want to talk a little about this massacre that take place in Mozambique with the Islamic extremists. We call them extremists like everybody else. The Islamic extremists, them who thinks that them have a duty to install Islam all over the world and get rid of the infidels. Now, for those of you who familiar with the Bible, you know, say, where them do in a Mozambique and even in a Nigeria, when Boko Haram means Western education, is a sin. Yes, that is what it means. Now, these Islamic people, these black people who take upon themselves an Arab influence thing outside, them take up this and make it become them, just like our whole black people take up Christianity and make it become them. But if you examine what these people doing, just examine what them are doing. These massacres of people, when them go in a village, them just start to kill and burn and rape, take with the woman them and them, take with the picnic them and go marry them off and all them way and kill the man them, behead the man them and all them something there. If you read the Bible, it's the exact thing Moses and Joshua and all them man they do when them go in our city, you know. And it look horrible and terrible to we righteous or now in this modern time, because it is horrible and terrible. But when you tell people about it's the same thing going on in the Bible, it's like them shun it like, yeah, that's the way you are saying. Well, those of you who don't know it, we say, them things are in the Bible. And then those of you who know it, you know, pass it on and say, well, that is the Old Testament. But the Bible says God tell them to do it. The Bible says God tell them to do it. Go into the city and kill all of the male and take the female them for yourself. Burn the city down, because them is, well the Arab, them would have called them infidels. Non-believers, the Christian them call it. Now, how you come to grips with something right in front of your eye in these modern days now. And people say, them wicked because Them not supposed to do this now. Them think of barbarism. But when you look in your Bible, you don't see it as barbarism. You just see it as thine will be done. And God can't do nothing wrong. So if God did tell them to do it, Him did have a reason why Him tell them to do it. Well, them man, you actually believe says Allah tell them to do this. Them have a feeling say in a for them belief system, in a them Islamic system. Them feel say Allah command that of them. Allah command that of them to get rid of the infidels. And anyone who is not Islamic, Muslim, them is infidels. That is how we find a whole heap of Arab language in the Maroon village, them, especially in a Moortown. Because a whole heap of the black people, them, who take unto themselves this Arab argument, Arab religion, never see the other Africans them as them. Because if you know Muslim, if you deal with indigenous religion in Africa and you is a Muslim, you make war upon them and you know business with them. What happened to these people? Whether white people want to take them and carry them go away, or where you enslave them and kill them. Because you're against them religion that are going for centuries down the line with these religious talking. Good day with you on the cutting edge. We'll talk about the ideas of black people holding on upon a religions. And then you have a group of people reading the same book, yes, and come out with a perspective that is so backward. But one said backward, but the other one, I say, that is where God asked them to do. Before we get back in it, before we forget, we want to say, yes, totes. Totes make it, man. May I tell you, I am so feeling good that Totes get the Grammy. Yes, may I tell you. Listen to that and my heart just, you know them way there. You know, say, Totes, who may I listen to from your picnic, come do a song. And then only to realize it's one of the last songs them ever do. Wow. So we'll talk about this horror story by people who claim God on them side, religion on them side. And we see them do some atrocities that you don't know them man, they think about them things there. But guess what? They might do it in the name of them God. They might do it in the name of them God. These people who attack the village in a Mozambique and kill about 100 people, behead a whole heap of them, all children too, and rape the woman them. They might do it in the name of Allah. And guess what? They might try to create a Islamic state, a Islamic community. And the only way them can do that is to listen to where Allah tell them. Wipe out the infidels out of the town. Kill them off and take over the town. Those who want to really come over, allow them to come over. But guess what? Those who feel like, if you feel like say them no want to come over, just kill them. And then we reverse the same process where we look in the Bible, in the Old Testament. We say this command according to the book was given by God. The same Christian God, the same Jewish God. This command was given by God to Moses, to Joshua, and all the people them where them call judges of Israel, to go into the city and wipe out the people them. Now a Christians thinking upon this nowadays. And I read we're going in a Mozambique, and we're going in a Nigeria and place there. Would I see it as some atrocities, terrible atrocities done against people? If you see a man cut off a man's neck, cut off a man's head, these things is atrocities. But how can you reconcile these thinking with your thinking? And maybe not your thinking, but with your God, in the book where you cherish as the word of God. People say the Bible is the word of God. How can you reconcile the word of God when it tells you that God say? It's what a kidnapping in matter about, you know, a rape in matter about, you know. And that him tell the Israelites them to do, you know. Yeah, that him tell the Israelites them to do according to the book and according to what Christian-minded people believe and Jewish-minded people believe. That this Moses, this Joshua, all these Samson, all these people who was stand up against the Philistines and against the Assyrians and against all the people that surround them round and about. Go and wipe them out. Wipe them out with your sword. Save none. None. Don't save none of them. That even one of the time I said, dash them to the wall, the children. How we reconcile that, brethren and sisters? For those of you who really look upon it as the word of God, how you reconcile that? You know, as Christians, I know as Christians you don't give credence to those kind of actions. But this is where your thinking has come from. Your thinking has come directly from this book. And God is forever not changing. God is not something we change yesterday, today, and change tomorrow. It's man do that. So if you give credence to this God, how do you reconcile God telling Moses, telling Joshua, and telling these judges to go into a city and kill off the man them and take the woman them? Because it's forced you're going to take them by them because the woman them no want you. You're going to do it by war force, and any woman them no want come, you kill them too. That is exactly what's going on in Africa. With these Al-Shabaab people, where them call themselves, who are trying to install the Sharia law in the people in place because they adopt an alien religion. Alien. Because the Arabs were the first people to enslave Africans. The Arabs were the first people to enslave Africans. Nobody talk about the Arab enslavement of African people for about 1,000 years. The Arabs, them enslave Africans. And we still sit down here so and go on like, yes, you know, if you look on the whole of North Africa, the whole of North Africa is Islamic. Go right down into Senegal, some places in a Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, a whole heap of these people, Mauritania, Algeria, Morocco, you know, Tunisia, Egypt, Ethiopia, whole heap of these places is Islamic, run the place. Right now, Ethiopia can't even say them is a Christian nation anymore. Because the Arab, them overrun the place with Islam. This is a serious thing. These are the same people who enslave African people and give them this law, these laws of Muhammad. And these laws, I tell them, say they must kill people to install them Sharia law and all these laws where them have that govern them as a religious set of people. And when you listen to the Christian-minded people, them have the same idea about wipe out people, you know. Yeah, because you're going to go burn in a hell for 1,000 years in a fire. God going to come and wipe out the wicked, and them shall be in torment for 1,000 years. And that is how them see it. So it's not something where it's one set of people that think that. So when you look over that side and you say, look how them people are evil and cruel and wicked. When you hear about Boko Haram in Nigeria, them take away the whole heap of young girls, them, young ladies, them take them away. And who forget married off, who forget rape, and all them something, and them send them back by them village. In the name of them religion, Islamic religion, that is what them do. Man blow a plane in the name of Allah. Him going to play Allah Akbar, and that is the end of the plane. Man go in a building and blow up building with people in there. Man drive truck in a crowd in a France. This is a religious people, religious-minded people. We read the Quran 24/7. We pray 5 times a day. 5 times a day, these people pray. And we, as African people, suck onto it. Suck onto it like it's our thing. Just like how we suck onto Christianity and Islam and Judaism, like it's our thing that. And then when we talk about the Akan people, when we talk about the Yoruba traditions and all these things, it's what you call infidel. It's devil business. Devil business. I don't hear people who have the Yoruba tradition and go in other people's country and kill them off to install Yoruba by violence. I don't know of it. Yeah, somebody can call me and tell me, but I don't know of no Yoruba part of the Yoruba tradition where over a period of 100 years go into a next country and kill out the people them to install Yoruba tradition. I don't hear it. I don't even hear about that with voodoo either. And voodoo is a what them call it, retention of African traditions where take hold in Haiti. I don't know of no Asian people where I land in our next island and I kill out the people them for install for them voodoo religion. I don't know of it. But yet it is a devil thing according to the people, them voodoo a devil thing. Yoruba devil thing. How that become devil thing? And you don't hear the God of the Yorubas. Oladumar. And the God of the Santeria and it was the same God and voodoo. Oh, I don't see them attack, say, God tell them, say, if you go in Jamaica, go wipe out the people them and take away them land in the name of Odumare and all these things. I don't hear that. So why we stay away there? Why we stay away there? Why we can't see, say, there's something that is clouding with eyes. Totally clouding with eyes. Them not longer brainwash we, you know. But them put a dark glasses over our eye, man. It's so dark that we can't see. And our eye wide open. Wide open and we can't see. How them get to do these things voluntarily? We just do it. Without question. Because them do have to say it to way again, you know. We have it in a way, even more than them. Eh? Well, we hear the African past preacher in Nigeria, I tell the people them say, don't take the vaccine. The man, they must not take the vaccine because it's going to make them turn gay, homosexual. How them come up with these things? And thousands of people believe these people. Just like the white guys them, where the televangelists them, we have taught certain things in the church them in America. Them get money, pan top of money. Black people sit down in there and listen to every word where them spew out of their mouth. Every word, and accept it, and then take the money, go get them. And we just sit down like lamb to the slaughter, continuously, lamb to the slaughter. That's a terrible thing, man. But we are going to do something about it, you know. Yes, something have to be done, man. We can't continue that way, man. We can't continue that way. So the nations, them are rise. And nations are rise, and African, them look like them stagnant. Stagnant. Because we take the white man ways and make the white man ways believe it's our ways. And for them ways and our ways is not our ways. It's not our ways because we can't see it. These religion and political ideologies don't push we forward. Don't push we forward. It make us step them become more like we are walk back ways. Meanwhile, them are walk forward, we are walk back ways. And we believe so we are move forward. Because them put our glasses over our eye. The glass is so terrible. It's so terrible, man. It's a terrible thing when you don't know whether you're going or you're coming. Why is it that we stay that way? We have to ask the question. All the people who are listening to me now, why is it that black people continuously look like, say, them no have no semblance of self-worth, self-value? Why is it that we give the power over to European ideas, Arabic ideas, and all the other ideas that come in front of it? And when we hear about our African things, we refuse it. We start to demonize it. And we keep demonizing it to the point where we start to believe these things. When a man come down and give out olive oil, this part, sir, may I tell you, these people, I can tell you something. I can tell you olive oil. For those of you who are here the past that about you need olive oil. Look here, any oil will do. Any oil will do. Coconut oil can do the same thing if it do anything for that matter. Olive oil is a good oil for use in your food and your salads, just like coconut oil, especially the cold press coconut oil. It's good for your salads, and even if you're frying plantains and breadfruit, it is good for that. Olive oil do the same thing. But here I know. Why you think that these people use olive oil? Because in the Bible, it tell you, say, in the Mount of Olives. And if you have been there, because I have been on the Mount of Olives, me and my brethren rebel, and we know that a whole heap of olives in that area there, the world. And olive oil is the main thing. If you go to France, olive oil is the main thing. Main thing. Now, you want to know why them use olive oil. Because them never have no other oil they use. It's olive oil them use because in that part of the world it's olive oil them use. In Jamaica we use coconut oil and any other oil we can get. And some people don't want to use coconut oil. They prefer use the soya bean oil where do have no smell, no taste, and no nothing. The coconut oil can do the same thing, ask the person. The person can tell you, say, no, but you see, Christ used olive oil. Lie them a tell. Lie them a tell. It does nothing. It has no spiritual significance. It cannot heal nobody, because if it could have healed somebody, them would have gone to the hospital, which brought the coronavirus people them there, and throw some olive oil all over the people them and get them better. You see the pastor not going on in the hospital, them and try to get COVID people better with them prayers and them olive oil. Wicked. They don't say all them things and don't still a fall prey to it. I don't see them things and still a fall prey to it. But olive oil. Olive oil have no different in the rituals. In the rituals that them create. Coconut oil can do the same thing. Soya bean oil can do the same thing. Peanut oil can do the same thing. Jasmine oil can do the same thing. It's oil. An oil is an oil is an oil. And there's no supernatural power in olive oil. It's only because them read that in the Bible about olive oil. And them don't know, say, in the space where the olive oil was used, it's because that was the oil, the prevalent oil at the time. It's just simple. It's just simple. And now them trick the people them. One time I see a brother, a little youth in a fits, and the people them call him, they tell him, why the devil take him over. And the person, wicked person, them catch him on our camera too. Tell the people they must move, and him take out a buckler, olive oil, and sprinkle around the youth and chat some foolishness around the youth. And people actually believe these things. That is how them catch black people. And now black people fall in line with it and make black people catch them with the same thing where people come with this damn foolishness. But olive oil have this and olive oil have that. Nothing is in olive oil more than to cook it. Olive oil good for you. A teaspoon of olive oil good for you, just like a teaspoon of coconut oil. If I had a choice between an olive oil and coconut oil, I would choose coconut oil because it is indigenous, not even indigenous, but it is It is familiar to my cultural experience. Olive oil is not part of my cultural experience, but I use olive oil because olive oil is a good oil. But the people them in Jerusalem and in Israel, them know about olive oil. Them hardly use coconut oil in Jerusalem. Me know that. Everybody has sell olive oil. You understand? You have to import coconut oil come like luxury in them place. Luxury. When you see coconut oil expensive in all America, much less. You know, see it? So, we just have to say that because we see the thing get away so much now that these religious fanatic people, whether upon the Christian side or the Islamic side, is creating havoc in Africa, not only in the land, but in the minds of the African people. That these person in Africa now, I do some weird thing. I tell women, say, not to come to church with them panty on and all them something there. And I tell some things when I see the parts of them, I tell the people them, and at hundreds of people in them church every Sunday, hundreds of people. Say them all are raised dead out of coffin and all them something there. I say, what the hell is this? Oh, people are fall for them something there. And them, hallelujah, see them way, hallelujah, praise the Lord. And the next Sunday them come, is the same thing. Wow, man. I mean, really. You know, we have some bossy slave about the place where it's hell-bent and keeping the people them in the direction that them supposed to move away from. Them have them like yo-yo. Yo-yo them have way. Set up the thing away where we can confront that part of ourselves that is holding us back. Because the people them who look like we is the people them who is the aggressor. You know, we don't see the enemy again as our ancestors saw them, white people. We see our enemies, we see enemies now and don't even know says we're enemies. But them is like roast breadfruit. When you put on the breadfruit, green on the fire, and the fire make it get black. And when you peel it off inside, white, roast breadfruit. And the people them scared because it's so embedded in them thinking, embedded in them thoughts, that them feel like them start to question certain things in them head. Them are sin. Yes. A whole heap of things where they make we feel so we are sin. Because we think certain way. And because we feel certain way. Them say we are sin. And we hold that fast, hold on upon that fast continuously. And then sin for ourselves. But who we sinning against? Ourselves we are sin against. Ourselves we are sin against, if there's such a thing about sin. And that is where them inculcate in our consciousness, in our thinking, for years, and it keep going on and on through the educational system, through the political system, through the religious system, through the cultural system, through the sexual system, all of it, the different systems that control and manipulate way is run and operated by these aliens, because we are a universe unto itself, and we make aliens come attack this universe that we call the black mind. The black mind is a universe unto itself, and we allow them to attack these aliens, attack us, and now plant themselves in our consciousness. And it's very difficult for years. Different people come and different people go. Some of us even die trying to wake up the thinking of the people them. I just remember something where we read years ago in Genesis 6. It said the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fear, and them took unto themselves wives of these sons of daughters of men. Now, it is weird because one, One, them say, Jesus is the only son God have. In Islam, them say Jesus can't, Allah can't have no son. Allah not have no son. You know, it's almost like you blaspheme if you tell them, say, God have a son. Yet still them believe in Jesus Christ. We talk about Islam now. Islam, it's not every week we talk about Islam, but Islam say God have no son, but the Muslims believe in Jesus Christ, not as the son of God, but as a prophet. Even though them say Muhammad is the last prophet, but them say Jesus Christ is a prophet, but them don't see him as how Christians see him, even though them are read the same book too. But in this part where we are talking about named Genesis 6, it says, and the sons of God, capital G-O-D, you can go look for it. You can go look for it. Capital G-O-D. The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and them take unto themselves wives. Now, this is directly something where come out of some Greek mythology. Last week, we mentioned Zeus. We and the brethren did that talk, and we talk about Zeus, the god of all gods, the Greek gods, and them something there. And we talk about how him love women. Now, in the Bible, Genesis 6, we tell us that the sons of G-O-D, capital G-O-D, him said the sons of that God, even though we hear says only one son God have, but them took unto themselves women of fear and them become them wife. No, nobody, them not ask the people, them nothing. Them not ask the woman, them nothing, you know. That is how we have this idea against women, you know. This thing where religious people started up, you know. The inferiority complex of women, the inferiority of women start from religion. Islam and Christianity and Judaism is them create this thing about woman is woman commit the first sin in the earth too. And that them say, and when woman I see them period, them nasty, is a dirty thing. Even though them see 20 odd days every month. And every man come through that part of the woman. Religion show you say these things when man do to women is acceptable. All the while them say it acceptable. So when you look on how them view women in a religious practices and religious beliefs, you have to really say, how can somebody look on this thing and see it say it's something that we should hold on and latch on? And we are doing it. We are doing it and ignore the things them where make the foundation of the Muslims, Islamic traditions and Christian traditions and Jewish tradition. These are the foundations of Jewish and Islam and the three major Western religions them. These are the foundations of them. The total disregard for the feelings of women and how them view women in a them religion there. And now here Christians are going like this and are going like that. Them also see, because even in the New Testament they say a woman must not speak in the church because the man must speak for her. This is the cutting edge and I refer me so come forward. How much time we have to repeat this thing over and over? How much years would they have to repeat the same thing? We don't mind repeating it, you know. Because it must reach the right ears one at a time. You understand? Must reach the right ears. Because we know it reach some people ears, or else we won't be on the radio again. We won't still be on the radio after so much years. But we have to keep doing it. We have to keep doing it. Because we know it says that just cause the reawakening of African people is one of the biggest job anyone can have to wake up black people out of them sleep and slumber. We are asleep, we are a dead sleep, you know. A dead sleep, we are asleep, you know. Yeah man, we are asleep dead. When we say dead, we mean like all hurricane come and we still asleep. As a matter of fact, your house could have a leak and you have no house stop. And you're wet up and you're asleep and you don't even know. Somebody will wake you up and say, wait, you know it's a rain or fall. And when you wake up, you see your clothes wet up, you say, right, it really that fall for you. That's how deep the sleep is, man. But you know, say it will come where we're going to wake up. Yeah, man, it can't stay so all the while, man. Not no go so. Not no go so. We have president said, you know. Remember one time Greece was a world power. Anybody that talk about Greece nowadays? Remember when Alexander the Great did about the place, Alexander the Greek, and him go conquer places like Persia and burn down the library them in Egypt and all them something there. Who would I didn't know? Who would I didn't know say you not hear nothing about Greece again? But that's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. World power come and world power go. You see all this America here where sound go on like say it can't fall. How are the mighty falling? The mighty, you know them say power corrupt and absolute power corrupt absolutely. So the race is not for the swift, nor the battle for the strong. It's who can endure to the end. And we are endure for years. According to the law of logics, we shouldn't be here now, given what we go through over the years. We shouldn't be here. No, man, we should have been wiped off of the map, off of the earth, years ago. But we endure. We are the people of the sun. We are the people of the sun. Sun, ra, sun ray, shine in our skin. Our skin is a testimony to our perseverance in the times of grim. Just, it's funny, man. I mean, I think on it so much time, I think on it and I say, but wait, what is this? What is? Oh, we so blind. We can't see. With the eye wide open, now we're blind. How that possible? Look how much saviors we see come. How much saviors. How much heroes come and show the way and show what to do and how to do it. And we just going like them never live. Them just come and live for nothing. Them just die and just gone. And we see a generation of youth that come up and now where them not care about where you are say or where me are say. Them not care. Them just do a thing. And we see what is the outcome of the things. We see what is the outcome of the thing. It's a weird situation African people find themselves in now. And things that we can't stop do what we are doing. We can't, there's a lifelong journey we take up on ourselves to do these things continuously. A lifelong journey. And we really know, say, confidence itself is a very important part of the journey. Confidence in self. African people lose that confidence in themselves. We give the power over to other people. All the while we give the power over to other people. And don't realize the power is us. We are the power. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I was here before my ancestors. Is I am here now to testify to that I am my ancestor. Yeah, man, don't look for them. I have some people now who want to pray to people who are gone, like say, they might go back into the same old relic thing, but yeah, pray to your ancestors. I don't need to pray for your ancestors. I am my ancestor. I don't pray to ancestors. And we don't want to pray to ancestors neither, because what is prayer without work? What is prayer? Prayer is to comfort the person who is praying, which is a good thing. You comfort yourself using prayer. But how that are going to liberate and free millions of people, because if prayer was helping who wouldn't pray with the COVID long time. And how much people sit down in a Sunday and a prayer, say COVID gone, and still I get worse. And them still can't go into the hospital, St. Joseph Hospital, go pray over those people with those things over them face, ventilator, or whatever them call it, and get them better, make them come out. You understand? They no care how much olive oil them buy. The crime and violence still flourish in a Jamaica. Not a no amount of gallons of olive oil can't stop it. It's the initiative and the work of man, because it's man making the problem, and man can fix it. It's just that the man them who is in charge of fixing it, them is some bossy slave. Them is bossy slave. Them do have a clue. Them do have a clue. But it can fix. It can fix. Anything where man undo, man can do. Anything where man do, man can undo. It's just so it go. Just like this COVID. It going to kill a whole heap of people. We don't know how much it will kill. But we know say it never lasts forever. Because it's not the first world in this catastrophe or so. And it's not the worst catastrophe ever lick the world. And it's going to end. And maybe something worse come after that. Because this is the way of man. This is the way of man. Him don't know how to satisfy the needs of natural order. Him have to dismantle it up and create disturbance in the atmosphere with them chemical germs and them chemical warfare. And then him tell you about God. What God have to do with it? It's man doing it. Man doing it. So man have to rectify it. Man have to find him way out of this maze of confusion and death and suffering. He have to find him way out of it. And man will evolve or might evolve into a different creature. Yes, because it's all about evolution and the process of evolution that bring forth something other than the something that was there before. In a different form. So we have to really watch it. Watch what we're doing, watch what we're saying, watch what we're eating and watch what we're thinking. Yeah.
Greetings.
Yeah, blessed man.
Blessed. Me tell you, man bingo for calling and me say me call Muta right now because so if man bingo call me, I have to go get my book and my pen.
Why you have to get your book and your pen? Now I want to talk to him about something.
Okay, because I know, yeah, man bingo when you're ready for talking and I have to stay, I have to focus. I'll let me have those off.
All right, sir.
Yes, man. Blessed love, man. Everything good in the night, yeah?
Yeah, man. We are going through, man, with the program, you know, at this video.
Alright, man, yeah.
Where you call from? You on security work? You on security work?
Come again?
You on security work? Where you on?
No, sir. You want to know, say me there, I write 2 songs and sitting.
You serious?
At them time, I'm inspiration kick in and write poems and songs and everything.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
But, Muta...
Florida you call from?
Eh?
Where you call from?
Manchester, me I call from, man.
Oh, me think of Florida you call from.
Florida, no, sir.
It sounds like a virgin who call me all the way from Florida.
And this is my second time I call you.
Okay.
Remember the first conversation we had, me I shared the idea of with thinking to get rid of the box. People and this idea of thinking with inside or outside the box.
Okay. Yeah. So
But,
you're all right and thing?
Come again?
You're all right and thing, though?
Yeah, man, me all right so far, man. I give thanks.
Yeah, man,
I give thanks and I go through, you know what I mean? And, you know, me call to share a little experience with you.
All right, you have 2 minutes. You have 3 minutes.
3 minutes, all right, then cool. So anyway, today me two of my brethren then meet and we are reasonable businesses and so and thing and you know when I start with the brethren then them I communicate so boy it's so hard to start a business and them everything there. So me I tell them so boy I agree with how the system set up, but you know, we have to find a way how to make it off of this plantation, yeah. Because you know, when in our system, you know, I'm tell them so we still experience slavery, just a different form.
Yeah.
Because when they check it out, they don't think anybody really want to get up every morning in a motor to report to duty for any work, you know.
No. It's not like a robot when you do that, man.
A robot.
9 to
Robot when
5
you do that.
business, yeah.
You know, so them start, I say, boy, how government, how system are dealing with this. So I say, well, to be honest today, you know, based on my observation, we not have leaders get promoted with black conscious. We not have leaders like that. You know what I mean? Most of the leaders them will get promoted. They are always Christian minded. And Christian and black people who are Christian don't serious. Black people who are Christian are serious, you know. Them see you as, you know, a man or a woman of the Lord. The other people them know with this Jesus thing, you know, them serious. Because it would have been serving their purpose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because them see Jesus as a white man too.
Right. So you find, you know, our people know when we get promoted, oftentimes we have to fall in line before we get certain promotion. So may I bring it forward now to the so-called prime minister and you know, these opposition, these kind of people. Because the truth is they're not necessarily doing anything for the betterment of black people, you know, because them say this country is a service country, and we know the word service come from slaves, we come from the word Slavic. So you recognize say all them do a change.
You know, produce nothing for yourself. You know, produce nothing, you serve.
You are served, you know what I mean? So me I show them say, yo, if we as a people, we learn to go to school, get an education, get a job. But another set of people are learn to start a business, create a job. I say, do the maths.
Say, do the maths. Never teach black people how to do business. Them teach you how to fit into the business.
Yeah, how to manage a business with somebody.
Yeah, and turn secretary and all them something there.
And then you have some man, you know, we supervise the job, then be it like a feed them job in a motor.
Yeah.
You know? So,
our job, like a feed them job, we this and we that. We, you know, the welcome makes usually say when the master house are burned down, the slave say, we house are burned down. Anyway, we have to move though. 12 o'clock at the that time, we have to move here.
All right, my boss.
Call me back later if you want to call me back. Okay.
Yeah, man. All right, no problem.
Yeah, man. This ill.
Yes, man. We had the motor, a life win.
Oh?
Life win for the car skid Manchester. You can tell about the farm. You know, so when you tell me, you know, say, work, and start a play and tell work out good for me motor.
Right, you have to talk slow now. You say you start a what?
When you talk about the farm and you tell me, say, boy, I forget to run a farm for music now work. You know, say, me start a look up play and I tell you, say, I work out good for me motor.
Oh, gosh, man, I feel good for that year, that, man. Believe you me, I feel good. So what you plan?
Yes, motor. How am going to encourage people? And some foolish people talk some foolishness in the motor. You encourage me to get to you and put them up front in the motor. I respect you for that, you know.
Yeah. So tell me where you plant.
Me not plan nothing. No. It's a play. Me start and it work out for me.
Oh, me think you say you plant.
No, it's a comedian plant to work out good for me motor.
Yes.
I encourage you to give me motor. Me just go and put one in one and it work out good motor. So I appreciate you for that encouragement.
Yes, serious. So give me some of the joke them now. Where are the player?
No, yeah, he's up on YouTube, man. Let's go back.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, man, up on YouTube, man.
Well, we never realize how you have a laugh already.
Yeah, man, a life when comedy man on YouTube, man. Motor, not close, me proud of myself, motor car. Me just go and just do homework in a motor.
Yeah, I realize that is what you can do.
That's what me can do, motor, because me have it in a long time, motor.
Yeah.
And me just know, so yo, me can't get no land for farm, so yo, me say, yo, we call up some youth. And
me remember you, man.
Yeah, man, me call up some youth, pato sacks. and Ricky the Indian from out and knock Patrick and same right too, and the whole already start up a little thing, and boy, it a work out good. Right now, me there about 619 subscribers, but me I get a fight still, but you have to just fight it, and you have to fake it to make it, but we don't take nobody life. Because love, we embrace it.
All right, so give thanks for hear that. Give thanks.
Yeah, man, and the fun always up. As the fun up, just like his son, everything up.
All right.
And no shuffle, no buckle, is it? I mean, they are going to hold the motor and then can't tap my car, is it? Because if you go in over there, is it? You can't start.
Watch your over eye. Yo. Watch your over eye. Tap your foolishness, man.
No, when me say motor, I say can't tap my car, I'm right, you know?
Yeah, but you talk about throw over eye, so you want to rhyme.
Yeah, me a rhyme, because when me a cook, you spend a long time.
All right, I give thanks. Yeah, Bridget?
Yeah, but I love your program, Muta. I love your program, Muta. If no better you can do like when I do less violence in Jamaica, Muta, because enough of them crazy.
Yeah, me know.
And then I'm not loving at them, Muta, because if you don't have no love for your parents, I can't have no love for nobody in the street.
All right, sir. Give thanks. Yeah,
and remember, me tell you, Muta, me grew up poor in a Muta. Me tell you this in a Muta before you go in. I mean, I hold up a time, but I grew up poor, Muta. And so artists will give me love in our industry. I mean, so cool, Spotlight, Diligent, Patcha Black, CMA, them artists will never let me out. No time.
All right, sir.
Mr. Cool, I put me in a music video. Me know how much music video on the street, CMA, so we just do it in more time.
Them pay you for do it?
Eh? Yeah, man, yeah, sport time, get me local money, man. I say more time, I'm starring, man, because I come from far, man.
Yeah, but mine will get licked down by a car, you know, man.
Yeah, easy.
And nobody start no war, you know. Nobody start no war, you know, man.
Yeah, man, a long time I listen, you know, man. A long time I listen more time, I respect you, man, because life. And Patu Saxley, I bless up in the motor.
All right, we have to move now. We have to move, yeah?
All right, drive out, highway, road.
Yes. Yel Mandingo.
Yel Muta, Yel. And first thing, I have to wish myself happy birthday today, Thursday the 18th of March.
Oh, you know, sir, that's why I tell you about call me.
Eh? You know, so I never know.
You have something important to tell you, man.
Never know.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, man, give thanks. And it's also my good brethren, and you know very much of him too. Who was born 18th of March. The man who produced Uri first solo record, Dynamic Fashion Way, Keith Hudson,
I tell you.
We produced the youth S90
Street area there and Chancellor Lane and all them places.
Yeah, man. CM Keith, man, and first him did have the shop out at South Parade in the early 70s.
Yeah, man.
Till he move up. Yeah, man, Keith Hudson, 18th of March. And Dr. Wilson, we talk about sometimes, you know. We write the book, The ISIS Sphere, The Keys to the Colors.
The ISIS Papers.
1935.
The ISIS Papers.
Yeah, the ISIS Papers. Keys to the Colors, yes.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
And trumpeter Tony Green. Remember Tony Green? We used to go Alpha. Tony Green, we play saxophone.
Saxophone, yes.
Yeah, man. He had the 18th of March. And Charlie Pride, the country and western singer too.
Well, you know all of the people who were born the 18th of March, man.
Yeah, man, Charlie Pride, yeah, man. And later on, we have to big up our friend Lee Perry, because he born the 20th of March.
May I tell you?
Yes.
And my daughter born the 12th of March.
She born the 12th of March?
Yeah, my wife born the 5th of March. It's a March thing.
All right, so you look your wife the 5th of March, your daughter the 12th of March, and my daughter tomorrow the 19th of March, you know.
You have the whole people.
Yes, and my sister was the 13th of March, my sister Jasmine, who live in Canada, and my son at the 24th of March.
What do you want to go? He's a march all the way.
Yeah. I tell you, just a march in a march.
You tell me, I tell you. Anyway, you know.
Yeah, man.
Last week, a whole heap of things go on in England from America and things.
Yeah, may I tell you?
And it look like it not done. It look like the whole debacle not done. And we hear some new developments arise up now. Well, I don't know if you know about it. When the brother up on television name again, we are lick out against Megan and him walk off of the set. Him did that in America the other day.
The boy, the man, Piers Morgan.
Eh? Piers Morgan.
The morning program.
Yeah. Him walk off of the program because of somebody said to him, and it looked like him not like Megan. Him not like her.
No, because the weather, the brother will do the weather report more time. You know what I mean? Make comment defending
Megan.
You know, Piers always attack Meghan Markle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you would put it on him, show him hypocrisy and things, say him always a fight against her and thing, and him couldn't take it, him just walk off.
You see the man walk off, but things him not gonna stop, you know. The man just walk right off and say him resign.
Yes.
Him resign, don't
everyone was really surprised.
I was surprised
because he's fond of, you know, some people who like to insult and put on people, but when them get the same medicine, them can't take it.
Yeah. Well,
so that is what happened with him.
So what going on?
And you see
May I listen?
Well, since then, last Saturday, which is very key, many thousands of Europeans, especially the women then, came out.
About the killing?
Because
the
a 33-year-old by the name of Sarah Everard
the police killer
was murdered, and a police guy who was not just ordinary police, because, you know, most of the police in England don't carry guns. But this one was an armed protection officer. He's supposed to protect diplomatic staff and so. 48-year-old, was charged with the abduction and murder of this 33-year-old because she had left from visiting some friends in Clapham, which is next door to Brixton, and was walking home to her flat, was speaking to her boyfriend, and then she just disappeared. So when the boyfriend never hear from her the next day and raised the alarm, and the media, the European media here, pure uproar, and the police go all out to find out what happened to her, and then discovered her remains in Kent, near where this guy lived, and his wife was charged to feel like aiding and abetting. His wife was charged. She's on bail now with aiding and abetting him for, you know, for conceal the body and so on, because the body was dumped in an unused golf course near to them home. Right?
Them catch him quick, though. Them catch him quick, man. Them catch him quick.
Yes. Well, this is precisely it. Because it's just a couple of days, and because of the uproar, and this is the racism. Just a few weeks ago, we have one of our young sisters named Blessing Olusogun. So that means she's a Yoruba ancestry. The Olu Sigon, S-E-G-U-N, Olu, O-L-U, right? And she was in Sussex. This is just outside of London, on some course, working, and she went out for a stroll during a break and just disappeared.
There.
Hold
on there. We'll take a break and come forward. Hold on. Yes, we have you up on the cutting edge. We have Mandingo out of England. Yes, Mandingo, you did attack.
Yes. You see, it goes to show that racism
No, you not talk about the girl. Right? No, wait. You never done talk about the girl, man. The black girl.
No, I can't talk about.
Yeah.
Yes, man, I can't talk about.
Okay, all
the
right.
difference in treatment between Blessing Olusegun, who was 21 years old, and that of Sarah Everard, 33-year-old, shows you the racism which is alive and well in England and the rest of the European world, with how the police reacted in both cases. Blessing was 21 years old and is the first me and most people in England, Britain, was hearing about her murder. And yet when her body was discovered on a beach in East Sussex in September last year, she was alone with nothing but a few of her belongings close by her body. And the Sussex police, all them do is explain, is say that her death has been unexplained and that post-mortem decide that she died by drowning.
Oh.
And what has happened is that she was a 21-year-old business student who was doing a one-day training thing, right? Yeah. And went for a walk by the beach, and then by Bexhill Beach, right? On a Friday in the last year, as they say, and her shoes and phone was found near her body, and the police were treating her death as non-suspicious. That is not suspicious. This is a woman. All she do is go for a walk during her break time. This 21-year-old, and her mother, Sister Abe, is demanding to know what happened to her daughter, how she died the 18th of September last year, 2020. Where is the justice? While in the case of Sarah Everard, who disappeared on the 3rd of March, within a matter of days, the police and the racist media got to work fully and was able to find the person who them hold for her murder.
Well, maybe no camera anybody upon the beach, but camera there upon the place where you murder the other one, the white one. Where's
okay, but even if you take that into account, Muta, right? And I love how you're showing the pros and cons, is that the coverage that has been given is totally opposite.
Yes.
Because me, and you know, say me is a newsman, and we never hear a Blessings thing till now.
Yeah.
And that was last year, September. Right? Yeah, it's a racism. In other words, it's a typical thing. To these racist African lives don't matter. What is coming about too with Sarah Everard is that them trying to come with a thing which show you the racism too, is that her grandmother came to England as a nurse from Jamaica. Yes, but what's the difference? You and I know that while Jamaica, the majority of Jamaica population is African, you have Europeans, you have Indians and other races who born in a Jamaica too, even though we are the vast majority. But the point of the matter is that Sarah Everard get the publicity simply because she is European. When you look upon her, while when you look upon our 21-year-old sister in Blessing Olusegun, straight we as Africans, and no amount of effort has been made to investigate like what them do with things. It just show the racism, and it is sickening, and that is why we have to
I don't know if you see the George Floyd thing where them award the family 27 million, but them still don't.
Yes, I saw that.
But them still not try the policeman where they do the murder. Him not gone to prison or nothing.
You know the message where them are saying, where the racists them are trying to do. All right, we're going to pay you a couple millions here, which is what them do, to keep on quiet. But we're going to do our utmost so that the police officer who murdered him don't go to prison for it. And we see this happen time and again.
All the while.
All the while, in Britain, Muta, many of our men and women, boys and girls, African men and women, boys and girls, have died in police custody, in police encounters. And even when it got to court and it has been shown that they died illegally, to this day as I am speaking to you on my birthday, the 18th of March, Thursday, 2021, no English police officer or officers, male or female, has ever gone to prison for the deaths of our African people, man and woman, boys and girls in custody. Never. And you know where that remind me of? Is where our teacher Marcus Garvey Jr. used to tell me in the 1960s at Kingston Technical that one of the reasons, the main reason why I'm against the death penalty in Jamaica is that despite the amount of Africans who have been murdered in centuries by Europeans in Jamaica, Spanish and English and others, no European has ever gone to the gallows in Jamaica to murdering our African people. The only people who get hung at Spanish Town, when we're born, the gallows are elsewhere in Jamaica, is African people. No European, despite murdering our people, we know the history for hundreds of years in Jamaica, has ever been hung to the murder of African people in Jamaica.
And them still continue that even in America too, you know. Even in America too. You know, really find white people go to the electric chair to kill black people. And them have a terrorist organization that much years now named the Ku Klux Klan, where if he had all of them laws and things, the Ku Klux Klan has been in America for how much years now and still operating in America. And them don't get tried for terrorism. You know, I don't understand.
And them is the real terrorists.
I understand why them don't try them still, but them just go along and just kill black people continuously still and inspire others to do it too. Young people who have come up now, them inspire them to do it. And not come out.
The younger generation, them just come replace the older generation so that the racist murders continue. Because remember, you do on your programs, you know, cases of these young European guys in the States who murder our people in the churches and thing. And all the racist police do is arrest them, you know. While in the case where it's our African men and women, them kill them, you know.
Yeah, but the brother, when they go into the church and kill the people, them, when they carry them go to jail, they must stop and buy drinks and things for him, man.
Yes, drinks and things, yes.
They buy burger and things.
And bring, yes.
Well, I tell you,
you know,
I can't say the word.
It show the double standard, man. The racism, it don't stop all over the world.
Yes.
All over the world, you know what I mean? And we're really sorry to hear about the death, by the way, don't forget, of President Magufuli in Tanzania. Now we have to get more details about that. So he had some heart complications and so.
And then, I don't know if you did this one, we are talking about the flight from Accra to Heathrow. You never hear?
The flight from where?
You know, British Airways have flights between Accra and Heathrow, you know. But there was a contention that...
Yeah, between Accra and Heathrow, yes.
Yeah, but there was a contention that them did want to move it from each road to Gatwick. But the government in Ghana said no, because each road nearer to the center of London than Gatwick. You know, so it's problematic for really. You come from Accra and land at Gatwick and you have to spend how much money for taxi for going to London.
Motor, it is totally true. Because
wait, no, but it's not done. No, the story not done.
All right, go on.
So, what them want to know, them must say, them have to move it. Well, here the president, the president say, all right, here we know. You see, British Airways are going to move from each road to Gatwick. Well, British Airways have to move from Accra to Kumasi. And you know which part Kumasi is? About 100 miles from Accra. Accra the center. Accra the center of Ghana, you know, the capital.
Ghana, yes.
So can you imagine if you land, if a businessman land in as Kumasi and have to drive come, anyway, them solve it, you know. The British Airways says, all right, they're going to keep going to each row. Simple. Solve it.
You see, it is good that the president suggested, say if them can do that, then, well, switch it to Kumasi, because he was giving them a taste of them own medicine. Because what you say is true. Because the Piccadilly line take you easy and straight
right
to Heathrow.
Right,
but it is much more difficult transport-wise
to go to Gatwick
on the train and so to go to Gatwick. It's true.
But
and it's the same thing them did make up to people from Jamaica, you know.
Yeah.
When them switch the Jamaica planes coming in at Heathrow to Gatwick, it's the same thing.
Yeah. All right, hold on. We have to move, or you have to go hold on. One of them, anyone you want, we have to move.
No, man, me hold on, man. Me hold on.
This is the Cutting Edge on RFM.
Yeah.
Anything going there?
Yes, Muta. Yeah, man.
So, all right. So, I want to go back to this thing we are going in England with the Meghan and thing them now. And the Queen have come out and said she have to really deal with the racist part of it. I don't know if you hear that. But she write that art. She write that
but,
thing.
But hear the thing. She says she wants to deal with it, but in private. And that is totally wrong. Racism thing can't deal with it in private. That is a public matter.
Yeah. Well, the thing gone public
already. No private thing. Racism will affect us as African people. It's not a private thing. It has to be dealt with publicly. And it just in March here, we commemorated when 13 African youths died in New Cross in 1981 in that racist fire in New Cross. And what the parents remember, Muta, is that Queen Elizabeth II never sent any condolences to the families of the 13 African boys and girls who died at that party in New Cross, South London. But some Irish who died in Ireland the same time with IRA bombings and things, she sent condolences to their families. What is that telling you?
Well, we know that them have a history of racism, so this will come up now. Is where we didn't know already, and we just have to say, see there, the chicken come home to roost and all. You know, one little girl.
As Malcolm X would have said.
Yeah, chicken come home to roost. So we're gonna watch and see where we're going. Anyway, we're gonna move down our door. We're gonna move.
Yes, and let me just say this quickly. Cowboy from SLR Radio theme birthday the 23rd of March, Queen Ifrica the 25th, and Derek Morgan, our father, the 27th of March.
Yeah, I want to talk to one of them SLR man that you know. I want not panic. I want to talk to them half here. Give them my number. Give me my number.
Yeah, man. Me deal with that. And Muta, let me just say this quickly. You see, on the same Heathrow thing with the plane thing, one of the worst things that happened is that the Heathrow slot where Air Jamaica did have. You know, say it was sold to Richard Branson, who when him get it, switch and said Jamaicans have to travel from Gatwick and use our Air Jamaica slot
when get from Omar Davis to make for them tourists go to Barbados.
Yeah, well, Omar, would I blame about that one still?
Yes, I know in terms of that. So we just show you how thing. And all when Mike and we are tell Boots Golden say, don't make, our thing get messed up and thing. He make brands to come in on it. You know what I mean? So both parties follow as you and I know.
My wife, I say, when I tell her about the Accra thing, she say, but if it was a Jamaican minister, they would have just say, all right, no funny, just send me go a Gatwick. If it was a Jamaican, one of the prime minister or one of the minister of tourism and things, they would have just say, because we have the experience already with Omar and this part where you Jamaica, they have, The president of Ghana said, no, all right, we're not going to Accra then. We're not going to Kumasi.
Kumasi, yes.
Kumasi, we're not going to Kumasi. Since we have to go to Gatwick. And it just solve. Them just rectify the thing. It just stay as it is. Anyway, give
but your wife is saying that the Jamaican politicians, them wouldn't do that.
No, if she say them, no, they wouldn't do that. They would just give up and just say, all right, if you have to go to Gatwick, you have to go to Gatwick. That is what they would have say.
Exactly. Slave mentality. They would have just bow and do as them told.
Yeah, well, the same way is that Omar did do. It's bowing, He never did have to live.
Yes, exactly. Same thing. And you know, say, in a year Jamaica time, we were allowed 2 70-pound suitcases, 140. And when Richard Branson come in, he dropped that to, we only allowed 50 pounds, anything over 50 pounds. We have to pay money, so we lost 90 pounds weight, where we did have 140 pounds allowance before. Yeah, man.
All right, rough move.
Yes, blessings. And we make the SLR link the field. Watch nothing. See?
All over the world, people are changed. Sometimes the people them look like robots. I want to tell them, say robots are coming quicker than you expect. Yes, because you have hotels right now in South Africa where if you go in there, it's a robot, take your luggage and carry, go upstairs to you and bring your food, come give you and all them something. You don't have to see nobody again, You just talk in your phone. They just put your phone in a program in your phone and it open the elevator, go upstairs, it open your door. You have to make call in the hotel, you use your cell phone. If you order food from downstairs, you order it and it come to you, the robot will bring it to you. And I ask you, if you go into the pool now and tell you how much temperature, tell you the temperature of the pool and all them something, like you usually want to know how much the temperature of the pool is. They will tell you the temperature of the pool and all these things, but I tell you, so all over the world things are changed. I mean, I tell you, it is this automated thing, and no people have to go live with that. No people. Listen to this youth here. Somebody said it, come give me, I feel like I want to play it.
I know how we go through life trying to find the true meaning to life, but life not come with no meaning. Life is a chance to experience and a chance to create. Believe it or not, you give life whatever meaning it get, and you have to be the one to make your own life meaningful. Based on the things that we do during your lifetime and the people that we come in contact with. If you notice, nobody never born title a doctor, a chef, or a pilot, and them decide that them want to do with them life. And that them find themselves passionate about and want to use, make a living. And that them want people to remember them doing whenever they pass away. So whenever you sit down and think to yourself, so life meaningless, just get up and create a meaning. Find something where you're passionate about and do it. None of we not talented more than none. The whole of we equal. Some people just learn faster in a certain categories based on the interest and the dedication with them show. So you have to find the category where you know you can be more skillful in and dominate. All of we get a chance to experience how beautiful life can be, but if you get the experience, you have to give it. If you want to see a beautiful world, you have to help to make the world a beautiful place. You have to help to create the world where you want to live in. That's the only way it can exist. Because one person alone can't do it. All of we have a part to play. The Bible quote said, do unto others others as you would have them do unto you. So you have to treat people the way how you would have want them to treat you. You can't tear them and cause people pain and then expect them to smile and be helpful to you. Just remember, say a little help goes a long way. And you would have surprised to see the person we help to the help you out of a sticky situation tomorrow. And even though we're young enough and we don't take telling from elderly people, anybody who pay attention to life can see say life not come with an expiration date. We don't know when somebody we care about are going to die, or even worse, we don't know when we are going to die. But we know if we have facts that is inevitable, and we know we got life and we do have people we care about. So while we are alive, we have to help make each other life a meaningful and jolly experience. From you got life, you got everything. All you need is a chance, and life is that chance. So you can either show the world we are capable of, or you can either sit down and complain about what you don't have. But just remember, say life is a chance to experience and a chance to create your own meaning.
We want to play this to the people, them, you know. Yeah, we want to play this to the people, them, because we can't just play pure music. Well, so far we not play pure music still, but I'm sure that we say we can't just play pure ad. And we should not say we have to music. We want to play this. Yeah. Here we go.
The Zambian government, Bishop, sold the copper mines in northern Zambia to an outside consortium for $25 million. The copper mines for $25 million because they couldn't manage to keep them. The company that came in and took over the Zambian copper mines in 3 months made a profit of $75 million. They did not pay the Zambian government up front in cash for the mines. They were going to pay them over a period of time. Here we have this company that has an understanding of how things work, raised the money at the government's expense, took money that the company should have, the government should have been making, and gave it back to the government and said, we paid our debt in full, and give them now 0.006% of the proceeds of copper mining. When right outside the door there's people in poverty, people in not eating, people ignorant, people dying, high levels of AIDS, and what's the deal? Churches are full, people are praising God, Africans pray all night. Prayer is not in the success equation. Prayer is in the revelation equation. Decision making is in the success equation. You have to make a decision and be sound. We have to be disciplined and make sure we go and get what God has called us to get. You can be full of the Holy Ghost, but you can still be ignorant. But as for me and my house, I will get understanding. I will get understanding. I will get understanding. It's time now for us to rise up and be counted. This year, the country of Ghana turns 50. Ghana was born the same year we were born, in 1957. Ghana and South Korea had their independence dates on the same day, the same year. But look where South Korea is. South Korea is by nature not a Christian nation. South Korea by nature are Buddhists. China, which is the next large world economy, they have stated that in the next 10 years, 20% of the Chinese people will be multimillionaires. That means almost 450 million Chinese will be millionaires. They are not Christians, they are Buddhists. The Japanese are Shintoists. Those in Indonesia and Malaysia are Muslims. It's not about praising God and hallelujah and a great thank you, Jesus. It's about possessing an understanding as to how things work.
No, I want to tell you, say, he's a preacher that attack in church, you know. He's a preacher that attack in church. And it's like how people rewind music, forward music. Okay, I could take the caller first. Yale. Him jump off of the call, all right. All right, we're going to forward this argument so from this preacher. Here we go.
The Zambian government, Bishop, sold the copper mines in northern Zambia to an outside consortium for $25 million. The copper mines for $25 million because they couldn't manage to keep them. The company that came in and took over the Zambian copper mines in 3 months made a profit of $75 million. They did not pay the Zambian government up front in cash for the mines. They were going to pay them over a period of time. Here we have this company that has an understanding of how things work, raised the money at the government's expense, took money that the company should have, the government should have been making, and gave it back to the government and said, we paid our debt in full, and give them now 0.006% of the proceeds of copper mining, when right outside the door there's people in poverty, people in not eating, people ignorant, people dying, high levels of AIDS. And what's the deal? Churches are full, people are praising God, Africans pray all night. Prayer is not in the success equation. Prayer is in the revelation equation. Decision making is in the success equation. You have to make a decision and be sound. We have to be disciplined and make sure we go and get what God has called us to get. You can be full of the Holy Ghost, but you can still be ignorant. But as for me and my house, I will get understanding. I will get understanding. I will get understanding. It's time now for us to rise up and be counted. This year, the country of Ghana turns 50. Ghana was born the same year we were born, in 1957. Ghana and South Korea had their independence dates on the same day, the same year. But look where South Korea is. South Korea is by nature not a Christian nation. South Korea by nature are Buddhists. China, which is the next large world economy, they have stated that in the next 10 years, 20% of the Chinese people will be multimillionaires. That means almost 450 million Chinese will be millionaires. They are not Christians, they are Buddhists. The Japanese are Shintoists. Those in Indonesia and Malaysia are Muslims. It's not about praising God and hallelujah and a great thank you, Jesus. It's about possessing an understanding as to how things work.
You hear that? Listen, you know. When I just play them thing I just say, you know, some serious message. So, sometimes you have to drop them things like songs. So we're going to play this next one, you know. We're going to play this next one here because it's a serious thing. Here we go.
Did the world wars, revolutions, and big events of human history evolve naturally, or were they calculated and pre-planned? If they were pre-planned, who planned them, and what are they planning for the future of humanity? The answer to this puzzling question can be found within the boundaries of 3 of the world's most powerful cities. Those 3 cities belong to no nation and pay no taxes. They are Washington's District of Columbia, which is not part of the city of Washington or of the United States, the inner city of London, which is not part of London or England, and Vatican City, which is not part of Rome or Italy. These cities, called city-states, have their own independent flag, their own separate laws, and their own separate identity.
Vatican City is in fact a state, the smallest principality in the world. It lies on the banks of the Tiber, completely surrounded by the city of Rome. Its status as a separate state emerged from the Lateran Agreements of February 1929. It has its own newspaper, postal service, radio and television station, its own flag, and a population of about 1,000.
The Vatican also has its own army of Swiss guards, and it even has its own prison. The Vatican rules over approximately 2 billion of the world's 6.1 billion people. The colossal wealth of the Vatican includes enormous investments with the Rothschilds in Britain, France, and the USA, and with giant oil and weapons corporations like Shell and General Electric. The Vatican solid gold bullion worth billions is stored with the Rothschild-controlled Bank of England and the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank. The Catholic Church is the biggest financial power, wealth accumulator, and property owner in existence, possessing more material wealth than any bank, corporation, giant trust, or government anywhere on the globe. The Pope, who is the visible ruler of this colossal global wealth, is one of the richest men on earth. While 2/3 of the world earns less than $2 a day, and 1/5 of the world is underfed or starving to death, the Vatican hoards the world's wealth, profits from it on the stock market, and at the same time preaches about giving. How did the Pope and Vatican accumulate all that wealth over the millennium? One method was to put a price tag on sin. Many bishops and popes actively marketed guilt, sin, and fear for profit by selling indulgences. Worshippers were encouraged to prepay for sins they hadn't yet committed and get pardoned ahead of time. Those who didn't pay up risked eternal damnation in Satan's oven. Pope Leo X rebuilt St. Peter's Basilica, selling tickets out of hell and tickets to heaven. During the Dark Ages, the Catholic Church not only hoarded the wealth they collected from the poor, but hoarded knowledge. They kept the masses ignorant and in the dark by denying them a basic education. Like Vatican City, London's inner city is also a privately owned corporation or city-state, located right smack in the heart of Greater London. It became a sovereign state in 1694 when King William III of Orange privatized and turned the Bank of England over to the bankers. By 1812, Nathan Rothschild crashed the English stock market and scammed control of the Bank of England. Today, the city-state of London is the world's financial power center and the wealthiest square mile on the face of the earth. It houses the Rothschild-controlled Bank of England, Lloyd's of London, the London Stock Exchange, all British banks, the branch offices of 385 foreign banks, and 70 U.S. banks. It has its own courts, its own laws, its own flag, and its own police force. It's not part of Greater London or England or the British Commonwealth and pays no taxes. The city-state of London houses Fleet Street's newspaper and publishing monopolies. It is also the headquarters for worldwide English Freemasonry and headquarters for the worldwide money cartel known as the Crown. Contrary to popular belief, the Crown is not the royal family or the British monarch. The Crown is the private corporate city-state of London. It has a council of 12 members who rule the corporation under a mayor called the Lord Mayor. The Lord Mayor and his 12-member council serve as proxies or representatives who sit in for 13 of the world's wealthiest, most powerful banking families. This ring of 13 ruling families includes the Rothschild family, the Warburg family, the Oppenheimer family, and the Schiff family. These families and their descendants run the Crown Corporation of London. The Crown Corporation holds the title to worldwide Crown land in Crown colonies like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The British Parliament and the British Prime Minister serve as a public front for the hidden power of these ruling Crown families. Like the city-state of London and the Vatican, a third city-state was officially created in 1982. That city-state is called the District of Columbia and is located on 10 square miles of land in the heart of Washington. The District of Columbia flies its own flag and has its own independent constitution. Although geographically separate, the city-states of London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia are one interlocking empire called Empire of the City. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution. When Congress passed the Act of 1871, it created a separate corporate government for the District of Columbia. This treasonous act allowed the District of Columbia to operate as a corporation outside the original Constitution of the United States and outside of the best interests of American citizens. Corporation of the United States. Like Canada and Australia, whose leaders are prime ministers of the Queen and whose land is called Crown Land, the United States is just another Crown colony. Crown colonies are controlled by the empire of 3 city-states. At the center of each city-state is a towering, phallic-shaped stone monument called an obelisk that points skyward. In D.C. city-state, the obelisk, known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to Freemason George Washington by the Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia. Militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution. When Congress passed the Act of 1871, it created a separate corporate government for the District of Columbia. This treasonous act allowed the District of Columbia to operate as a corporation outside the original Constitution of the United States and outside of the best interests of American citizens. Corporation of the United States. Like Canada and Australia, whose leaders are prime ministers of the Queen and whose land is called Crown Land, the United States is just another Crown colony. Crown colonies are controlled by the empire of 3 city-states. At the center of each city-state is a towering, phallic-shaped stone monument called an obelisk that points skyward. In D.C. city-state, the obelisk, known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to Freemason George Washington by the Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia. The secretive Brotherhood of Freemasons laid the Washington Obelisk's cornerstone in 1848 and contributed 22 Masonic memorial stones. 250 Masonic lodges financed the Washington Monument obelisk, including the Knights Templar Masonic Order. At the heart of London city-state is a 187-ton, 69-foot-tall Egyptian obelisk called Cleopatra's Needle. It was transported from Egypt and erected on the banks of the River Thames. In Vatican City, another Egyptian obelisk towers high above St. Peter's Square.
Yes.
What exactly is an obelisk? Obelisks are phallic-shaped monuments honoring the pagan sun god of ancient Egypt called Amun-Ra. The spirit of this pagan god is said to reside within the obelisk. Obelisks symbolize the phallus and fertility. At the base of the obelisk is a sun-wheel circle symbolizing the vagina. Together, they depict male and female sexual union. Worshippers of Amun believe Amun is the supreme god and creator of all things, and can transform himself into other gods, like Osiris, the god of the underworld, or Seth, the god of evil and...
Yes, that was a little synopsis of crown lands and who control the crown land and manipulate the banking system. Yes. Yes, hello?
Yeah, blessed.
Yeah, blessed, man.
Yeah, man, you see, the first clip that we played, just recall back on like cement factory where the government them sell out and the yearline, Year Jamaica yearline.
Which one again? The one about London and Rome and thing?
No, the first clip that was Zambia with the 25 million.
Oh, them sell out. Yeah.
Yeah, so just recall back on how Jamaica government run to. You know, how them sell out
everything.
You know, because them sell out the cement factory, you know, to a company at Trinidad, you know. And as the people them take the cement factory as bare money.
Yeah,
them are making it.
And them can pay back the government the liquor where them will charge for it.
Charge. And the same way here Jamaica with Caribbean Airlines, you know.
Yes.
Them sell out here Jamaica and said here Jamaica now make no profit. And between 3 months, Caribbean Airlines make billions of dollars with that profit.
I tell you.
And, you know, the airport, them are the same thing them doing.
Them sell out them, I don't think them sell Norman man yet. Them not get no sale yet, but it on its way out too.
Sometimes you have to wonder, you know. You have to wonder. You have to wonder about them people. Always say them a leader, you know.
Where you wonder about? Where you wonder about?
No, I have to sometimes you have to wonder, you know.
Where, no, let me ask you where you wonder about.
Oh, them run Jamaica, how them deal with Jamaica. You know? And sell out everything and then them have to borrow money and, you know, from the taxpayers, and taxpayers have to pay fees and, you know.
I the sell out part, you talk about one to the thieving part.
The thieving part, right?
That you have to talk about the sell out part. And the thieving part, them thief more than what them sell.
More than what them sell, you know. The whole from top to bottom of be a corruption, you know.
Yes.
You know, boy, so, you have to wonder, you know. Jamaica have a political problem, you know, big time, you know.
So what we are going to do about it? Tell me what we are going to do about it.
Well, the only thing we can do, you know, is to get the youth them together, you know, because children live with them learn, you know. And show the youth them what go on. And see if we can get it in the youth them, you know. And that's the only thing I say, because the older people, them, like, you don't know, you know. Older people, them can get tricked by all, you know, man, all are so clocks and
where you call, I know the older people, them get tricked by that. Where you say, man? I know you see old people are wear clocks, man.
Yeah,
I know the older, anybody who can't vote from 18 go up, I know old people get tricked by the clocks. And the youth, them, and them call the millennials, them get tricked by that. Old people have no time for look on with them on man foot.
Yeah, because clocks never come in Jamaica. Clocks not a tax. Not even a dollar tax clocks are paying in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And when you look on the biggest brand of Jamaica, a push-up clock, so, you know, like, you know.
Look how much man I make shoes at Jamaica, and them not push up that.
And yeah, you see, so that thing
a good prime minister would have put on a local shoes and call it and say this is a designer shoes from ADCD from down at Trenchtown or down at Harbour Street or somewhere. But them not think on a level there. Them not think on a level there, you know. Really
anyway, blessed, yeah?
Yeah, man, give thanks. Music called Jerusalem, out of South Africa. Big tune. We're going to play this.
The ground is hard. We chose this poem because it is very relevant to the times now, though these verses were written many years ago. But dirty tough means not just that the ground is hard, but the times are hard. So it's rain or fall, but dirty tough. The rain is falling, but the ground is hard. And dirty is not just a corruption of the word dirty. It's a real African word, D-O-T, dirty, which means the ground, dirty tough. Sun a shine, but things not bright. Do a pot a boil, bickle not enough. River flood, and rain a fall. Rain a fall, but dirty tough. Nowadays the times so hard, when you ask somebody how them do, them afraid you take it, tell them back, so them no answer you. No care how much we da work for hard times, still in our shot. We da fight, our time a beat we. They might raise we wages, but £1 gone and pound we pay and we no feel no merriment. For £10 gone and pound we food and £10 pound we rent. Saltfish gone up, mackerel gone up, beef and pork gone up, same way. And when rice and butter ready, them just go for holiday. Cloth, boot, pin and needle gone up. Ice bread taxes, water rate, kerosene, oil, gasoline gone up. And the pound devaluate. The price of bread gone up so high that we have to agree to cut we hype and bread and all turn dumpling refugee. And all them maga smaddy, whether go on like fatty sin, all them that whether fast with me, I left them to dumpling.
Yes, we want to give thanks for the moment and the time and the energy. Give thanks for staying with me till hours, yeah.